Yeah, I really don't have a bit for this one, so, subscribe? Yeah, for some reason, this song always annoyed me when I first started playing Birth by Sleep. For those of you that do not know, when you start the game up and do the tutorial part as Ventus, this is the song that plays, and it's just not working for me. So yeah, we got that out of the way. Alright, so I want you guys to let me know in the comments below what got you into listening to music and what was the first genre that you really attached yourself to. For me, it probably had to be... Oh, look at me go! Look at that! Oh, hold up. It wasn't perfect, but look at this! I'm feeling it, guys. Oh, okay, alright, I messed up. When I was growing up, I lived in a very conservative Christian household, so it was really just Christian music for me, and then the person that we carpooled with only played country music in their car. The same with my mother as well. I never really liked the music, it was just kind of like all that I listened to for a very long time. Until one day in computer class in middle school, I found some MP3 files on the computer. It was Paralyzer from Finger 11, which is really weird to be on a Christian school's computer because it's about drinking and sex, and then Crashed Into You by Daltrey. Actually, I think the song is just called Crashed. And I played those songs so many times, I was like, ooh, this is good. I like this. It's rock.
Master Ericus's 3 apprentices affirmed their bonds of friendship as they prepared for the Mark of Mastery exam.
Kind of sounds like a Harry Potter thing, to be honest
Aqua
with you.
was the only one to pass the exam and become a Keyblade Master.
Female power,
leaving
baby.
Terra no time for disappointment. The 3 immediately received word that creatures called the Unversed had emerged to threaten the world of light, and Master Xehanort had gone missing.
He was literally right there.
Both Terra and Aqua were tasked with bringing the situation under control. Meanwhile, a masked boy left Ventus with a distressing thought. Terra resisted the call of darkness as he sought out Xehanort and the Unversed. Ventus chased after him, and Aqua carried out orders to monitor Terra.
Yeah, so basically the BBS story is everyone's just following each other to make 3 different storylines. So yeah, that kind of started my whole, like, I guess you could call it rock phase, but it was really embarrassing. I was listening to, like, Nickelback mostly, Papa Roach, like the very early 2000s kind of rock and roll. But it was a cool little, window into what was going to be the future of my iPod Shuffle playlist. Yes, you heard that right. iPod Shuffle. Before iPhones were even a thing. This is going as horribly as one could expect. Oh my gosh, it's like so fast. I can't even click it fast enough. Or am I clicking it too fast? Then my friend got me into Rock Band, and oh my gosh. Let me tell you, I really enjoyed Rock Band, and it was, a lot more of the classic rock and roll stuff, kind of like the roots of rock, and that really just kind of sparked the whole thing. And it ended up trickling around through, rock to a little bit of metal, like Metallica, and then it kind of found its home at, like, punk rock, alternative rock. I think that's where my rock taste buds kind of formed. So you had bands like Papa Roach, Nickelback, Daltrey, Linkin Park, Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, 3 Days Grace, 30 Seconds to Mars, My Chemical Romance, emo stuff like that, All American Rejects. It was just like a huge melting pot of alternative rock, punk rock, new metal, metal. I can't believe I missed that note. I'm so mad. So it's like middle school, right? So you're still trying to form your identity. You have a lot of angsty emotions. And so I just ran with that through the first, like, maybe year or 2 of middle school. That was like what I gravitated towards, was that kind of music. Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of gravitated on that until high school. And high school is kind of when I expanded into like the rap, R&B, hip-hop kind of stuff. But even then, like the hip-hop and R&B was like very light. I wasn't listening to like Lil Wayne or anything like that. I was listening to like Usher, Chris Brown, Nelly, like the softer side of hip hop, R&B, and that kind of stuff. I was still kind of a good boy Christian at that point. I would listen to some songs that would say fuck, but like if the song was about drinking or having sex, I kind of stayed away. Even though I did say I started off with Paralyzer as my first rock song, so I don't know what to tell you.
It turns out that when I was little, Aqua came to my rescue in Radiant Garden. Then she reunited with Terra and Ventus, but once again, their paths and hearts quickly diverged. Terra was guided by a light to a young boy, Riku. He bequeathed Riku his Keyblade.
Such a funny word, bequeath.
Meanwhile, Ventus learned he would become the Keyblade, and Master Ericus tried to seal him away. Determined to save his friend, Terra unleashed the power of darkness as he faced his own master.
Yeah, it's a real betrayal moment.
When pure light and pure darkness clashed. Ventus set out toward the Keyblade graveyard to bring all of this to an end.
Alright, so we got ourselves a third boss fight, and it is Maleficent. For some reason, it's very interesting they chose her to be the boss for Birth by Sleep. She doesn't really have that significant of a role, except, getting Terra to fall into a little bit of darkness. And I'm just doing this on standard, because I know for Proud I'm just going to have difficulties. If I was able to unearth my iPod Shuffle, it would be probably the most diverse playlist of songs you've ever heard. I still had a little bit of country in there. I had hip-hop, I had rock, I had metal, I had grunge, I had everything. I even had some Christian music in there too. So it's just one of those things, it's like, I think that I was pretty diverse in my music selection. Do I think everything I listened to was good? Oh, hell no. I could probably only listen to maybe a third of what was on that shuffle today. But it's just very interesting to think about that now, because I had the shuffle like way back in I don't even know, decades ago, like at least a decade. The holding down notes is like the most difficult part for me, and now they have me holding down 2. It's like, come on, you have a lot of faith in me, game. Looks like I did it. I barely even talked about Birth by Sleep during this playthrough, so I'm just going to quickly say that this is when things start taking a massive turn when it comes to story plots and plot holes in Nomura's writing. Do I necessarily think it's bad? No. But at the same time, this is where a lot of the fans of the original Kingdom Hearts games kind of fell off entirely, because it's like a prequel, but they end up being in the present later on in the story. So it's just very interesting. And as far as gameplay goes, it's by no means a bad Kingdom Hearts game. It's just it started doing different things because it was a completely different team that worked on the game compared to Kingdom Hearts 2, which was pretty much flawless, to say the least. They introduced this thing called a command deck, where you would kind of like rotate your moves, and I hated it at the beginning. I mean, I still don't prefer it over the OG way you use commands, but yeah, it wasn't the best. And then you could have recipes to create like really OP, attacks, like this thing called like landmine, where you can just lay out a bunch of like magic landmines that would just trap a boss or an enemy in a corner and just delete them from the game. But I don't know. It introduced new things to the Kingdom Hearts universe. It wasn't the same. It's kind of when the ship started turning a different direction, which is fine, You don't want things to be monotonous.
Ventus's heart fell into a deep sleep. Aqua faced off against Terra, whose body was controlled by Master Xehanort. To restore his heart to him, Aqua fought with all she had.
Wait,
Xehanort drove Terra's heart out of his body.
Did they even explain that? Hold up. So the Master of Darkness basically took over Terra and then released himself from Terra's body or something like that. So this is like a totally new character that you're seeing right now. named Xehanort, who's
Trapped
Terra's
in the
body,
realm of
but
darkness and all alone,
Xehanort's soul or
Aqua
heart, I
was
guess you
about
could
to
say.
give up the endless battle with darkness when her connections to her friends appeared in the form of a brilliant light and saved her. Sora, still just a child, had previously joined his heart with Ventus's. The connection they shared brought Ventus's wounded heart back to him.
Yeah, they tried their really best to just connect everything, even though it kinda is a little bit ridiculous. Okay, so, oh, I unlocked something else. Whoa, 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 what's happening? What's all that? What game is that from? Because it's going by release order. You know what? Is it Lost Masters? I think that might be it, because next is like Union Key or whatever, which is like the mobile and computer game. Maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Interesting. But yeah, so it's basically, you know, the characters that you're introduced in Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, are connected to these other 3 characters that are from the prequels. So Kairi touched Aqua's Keyblade, which makes her a Keyblade Master, as we find out in Kingdom Hearts 2. Sora and Ventus share a piece of each other's heart, because reasons, and Terra bequeathed, it's bequeath, but I always say bequeath, his Keyblade to Riku, and then Terra ends up losing his body to a crazy old man who's obsessed with darkness. So, yeah. That's where I'm leaving you with Birth by Sleep. So, very, very interesting.